Welcome or welcome back to my channel. It is your girl Brandy. If you are new here, welcome. If not, welcome back. Y'all, this is my first time since having a book club that I have not had to pick the book for the month. And I'm excited about that. Really excited about that. I've been having my virtual book club for over a year now, and I'm the only one to be picking the books. Now, I ask them all the time, what book do y'all want to read? And they be like, you pick. And then whatever I pick, we just read it. And I just be like, why y'all can't pick sometimes? You know, like, why y'all can't do it? Why can't y'all do it? I want y'all to do it. Can I vote on a book? I want to vote on a book. So finally, for the month of August, I was able to vote on a book. And I'm so excited about it. We are reading Kindred by Octavia Butler. I think this is going to be my first book by Octavia Butler. And this is going to be my first time reading this genre. So the whole science fiction situation, yes, this is going to be a first for me. And I was hesitant. That's why I checked it out from my local library. Yeah, so when I am hesitant about an author, a new genre, let's hold off on spending a coin so fast and let's just go support our local library. And I have it here as a physical copy, and Libby came through with the ebook. So we're locked in. We're locked in, and I'm really excited about it. One thing I am a little bit hesitant about is the subject matter of the book. I know we're going into slavery times and stuff like that, and I really try to stray away from those hard topics because I like to read for fun. Even though I like to learn new things, I love to read for fun. And I love to read mushy romance stories to make me feel good and stuff. I really try not to read so much into harsh reality. Like, I want to live in a fake world, not a real one, you know? So I think the last hard book I read was The Perfect Child. And I actually tried to reread it because I enjoyed it. It was a really good read. But I tried to reread it and I couldn't because I want to turn that mama every which way but loose. So that's just one that I keep on my shelf, but I cannot reread because it's just harsh. So I am ready to see what this one is going to be about. I do want to read the synopsis for you guys. And I'm holding my camera up this time because I just don't feel like putting it on a tripod. The angle ain't giving what I needed to give today. And I don't plan on being on here long. I'm going to read the synopsis because this is going to be a reading vlog. I know y'all could probably tell that by the title. But yeah, that's what this is. Let's read the synopsis. It says, Dana, a modern Black woman, is celebrating her 26th birthday with her husband when she is snatched abruptly from her home in California and transported to the South. Rufus, the white son of a plantation owner, is drowning, and Dana has been summoned to save him. Dana is drawn back repeatedly through time to the slave quarters, and each time the stay grows longer and more dangerous until it is uncertain whether or not Dana's life will end long before it has a chance to begin. And y'all see, that's why, yep, that's what I'm talking about right there. Because what? But you know what? I'm going in with an open mind. Number one, somebody else picked the book and I'm excited about that, okay? I'm happy about that. Number two, I'm going to be reading a genre that I don't typically gravitate to. Number three, I get to finally read something by Octavia Butler. So I'm excited, right? I know this is not going to be an enjoyable read. Like, I know this. I know this. So don't take my excitement for what's the context in this book. No, 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 no. I'm excited to just be able to read it. Okay? So, yes. So I'm about to dip into this book, see what it's about, read a little bit, you know. Ain't no telling how much I'm gonna read. The font in this book is a little small. The font, the font is a little small, so it's likely I'll be reading in the book just a little bit, and then once my eyes get tired, come over here to my Kindle. So yeah, I'll be back with an update. Welcome to a new vlog. I hope you guys enjoy. I've been hearing y'all say y'all want vlogs from me, and I'm gonna give them to y'all as much and as often as I can. I cannot make any promises, but right now I'm on a little streak. So I hear y'all, okay? And I'm in my cozy girl era. I know it's still summertime, and we got until mid-September before the season actually changed. And then in the South, we got until Halloween before it gets cold. So I'm over it. I've been over summer. Really, I've been over it. I don't like summer. It's my least favorite. It's not even a favorite. It's like, it's just there. So yeah, I got my cardigan on because I need the vibe. I need the comfy vibe. I'm not even cold. I'm comfortable though. So yeah, let's get into this book, and I'll be back when I got a little update. Yeah, I'll be back when I got a little update. So y'all, I am at work, but I want to come back and talk about this book real fast because I realized I never came back to you guys after I got into the book. Not only did I not come back to you guys, I picked up a whole nother book and started reading a whole nother book. So yeah, let's talk about where I am. So I'm 35% into the book, and we have our female main character named Dana. Dana just turned 26 years old. Her and her husband, Kevin, has moved into a new place in California. They are literally unpacking, setting up bookshelves, and unpacking. Out of nowhere, Dana disappears and goes over 3,000 miles away to 1817 or 1819. I know currently they're in 1819, but I can't remember if she started off in 1817, but she went to 1817 or 1819. She went to the 1800s. When she gets there, she saves this little boy named Rufus from drowning. When she saves the little boy, his mother takes him from her, and then his father appears and is holding a rifle to her face. Then she disappears and she goes back to 1976. The spot she disappeared from is not the spot she lands in when she gets back. Her husband, Kevin, is sitting there like, where did you go? How did you get over there? So she's trying to explain to him what happened. Mind you, when she gets back, she's dirty. She got mud, water, all type of stuff on her. And he's like, what the fuck? What happened? She don't really know what happened to explain to him what happened, but she tries her best. So Y'all, this book is so good so far. Okay, so that's the beginning. And I might be leaving some stuff out. If I am, I'm just trying to summarize it without giving you guys any spoilers. So please, if you read this book and you like, girl, you missing some stuff. I know I am. So then she's trying to explain to him what happened. Really can't explain to him what happened. To her, she's been gone for hours. To him, she's only been gone a few minutes. So then it happens again. So when it happens again, she's gone for a longer period of time. Mind you, she's going back to the 1800s. So when she's going back to the 1800s, she's going back to slavery. So she witnessed some stuff that today, ourselves today in 2024, we ain't going for it. So she witnessed some stuff. She's gone for a little bit longer. She come back. So when she comes back, her husband is kind of familiar because it happened already. So she's like, how long I been gone? And he told her how long she been gone. Just a little bit longer. Still shorter time for him than it was for her. So they're freaking out. Her husband, he's like, listen, I'm finna get you a bag, a tote together, because when you go back, you're gonna have some clean clothes, you're gonna have, some toiletries, you're gonna have some stuff. And take this knife, because I don't know where you're going, but you need to protect yourself. So he ties this tote around her or whatever, basically a care package, so that when she go back into time, she has some necessities. I'm at work. I'm on my lunch break. I'm finna eat my lunch. But so he gives her a care package or whatever. And he like, because next time you go, you gonna be protected. And here, take this knife. You know how to use it, right? And so she don't know when she'll go back into time. She don't know how she's been getting there. She has some kind of idea that it has something to do with Rufus, the little boy that she saved the first time she went. She don't know what's going on. She is just like, listen, all I know is when I do go back there, it's the 1800s. And my black skin don't need to be there. Mind you, her husband Kevin is white. And he ain't digging it either. So, again, I might be missing some stuff. So the next time she goes, she's laying with her husband. And they're like attached in some type of way. I can't remember how. But the next time she goes, somehow she takes him with her. So now they're both in the 1800s. He's a white guy. She's a black girl. And they married. So, they cannot be married in the 1800s. Yeah, I don't think my millennial self is taking this book as serious as I should be. Got some fries. Got a cookie that I won playing the little reward games. Got some strips. Polynesian ranch for both my strips and my fries. So y'all know they not supposed to be together. They're not supposed to be together. So basically, Dana is going back to witness what happened in our history books, basically. And she has her white husband with her. So they're both witnessing history. And we're just going through the motions of what happened in the 1800s. Of course, the people can't read, they can't write. If you could read and you could write, baby, we don't want you over here. If you are black and you can read and you can write, they jealous of you. Yeah, they finna get you on up out of here because you can't be better than me. And so, we're going through the motions of all of that. And y'all, this book is so good. I literally only set it down because I need to get through my summer TBR. This is a book club pick, but I actually need to get through my summer TBR. So I set it down so that I can start another book because I typically read 2 books. And my millennial self, I'm just cackling at every single thing. Like, they don't know how to read and write. And Dana, she's trying to teach some of them how to read and write, and she's trying to teach Rufus how to read. And his dad can read just a little bit, not a lot, but Rufus's school teacher basically told him he dumb, he ain't gonna amount to nothing. He's white too. And Rufus's dad was like, you like for her to read to you? And he like, yeah, because I want to learn how to read. And he was like, you don't know how to read, blah blah. He was like, you don't know how to read either, so you can't one up me. Yeah, I've been cackling reading this book. There's something else that was in there. I'm just relearning stuff that I probably learned back in history class that I did not pay attention to. And I'm gonna come back to y'all later after work with some more details of what I just been refreshed on. I'm not gonna say learning about, refreshed on, and it's probably gonna be a refresher to you, but I didn't want y'all to feel like I left y'all hanging. Obviously in the video y'all ain't even gonna be able to tell that I left y'all hanging, but I did. But I am thoroughly enjoying this book. I'm trying to read some like on my lunch breaks and stuff like that, that way I can get it done by Monday, because today is Friday. And I really don't want to I really hate to call out days in the videos because it just don't make sense too. I'm about to get ready to eat my lunch, continue reading. Like I said, I'm 35% in. I got so much stuff I want to tell you guys, but I'm gonna hold off until I actually get home because I have so many notes that I just want to go over with you guys. But long story short, my millennial self, I am not taking this book as serious as I should be. Because it's a serious situation. You know, when we're talking about historical fiction, when we're talking about slavery and all of that, like, I'm not taking it serious. And all I can think about is what I would do, my today's self, my 2024 self would do if I was put in those 1800 situations. Like, that's why I should be reading this book. But I'll be back with more information. I just want to check in with you guys and let y'all know that my experience has been swell. Okay, y'all, I am back. I'm officially off work. I am home. I am in my cozy pajamas. Well, my robe, headscarf. That's how y'all know I done got home, took a shower, got cozy for the evening. And I am about 40% in on the book, right? I'm about 40% in. This is a library book, so they glare. But yes, 40% into the book. And as promised, I wanted to come back and just give y'all a better, some better tidbits about the book, because I felt like I gave it to y'all, but I didn't give it to y'all how I really wanted to give it to y'all. And I got my nose pulled up right here on my iPad, so y'all gonna see me looking down while I go over exactly what I put in my notes. So first of all, so I already talked to y'all about how the story starts off with Dana, which is our female main character. She disappears, she vanishes, right? And like I said, she vanishes over 3,000 miles away into the 1800s. Okay. This is a space where she sees all of her ancestors, literally, back in the slavery days, obviously. The current day for her is 1976, just for reference. So I know I already told you guys that. I already know I told you guys she had to save Rufus from drowning, right? And Rufus is how she even got there. Rufus is why she got to the 1800s. How? We do not know. We don't know. So then I'll go over how she disappears back into current time. Her boyfriend is looking at her weird because he like, not only did you come back in a few seconds, but how are you over here when you left you was over here? How did you come back and end up over here? Like, what's going on, right? So I already talked to y'all about that. Then she disappears back and she's in Rufus's room. She's asking him tons of questions like, where am I? Who are you? Can you see me? Like, am I a ghost? What year is it? How old am I? Who are you? Right? So yes, that's how the story begins. And so during the beginning of the story, we are introduced to what a patroller is, which is a white man. He's usually young, often poor, sometimes a drunk. And he's a member of a group of men organized to keep blacks in line. So back in the slavery days, they had the patrollers basically keeping the black people in line, whipping them if they need to, getting them straight, making sure they're doing what they're supposed to do. So then also back in that time, the slaves were able to get what you would call a pass, and it's basically a written permission slip to be somewhere other than home for whatever reason for a certain time. So basically a certain time for freedom. So if they needed to go take care of some business for the white folk, then they had to have a pass, right? And so during those times, they frowned on black people knowing how to read. Like, if you knew how to read, baby, we got to get you up out of here. And I know I already mentioned that before. Because if you know how to read, that means you know how to write. That means you know how to spell. That means there is a chance that you could create passes to get on up out of here, right? So anytime they ran into a black person that knew how to read, knew how to spell, knew how to write, they was trying to sell them and get rid of them, because you can teach these others how to read, write, spell, and they could be making passes to get up out of here. And we don't want that. We want them to stay here. So those are the two things that I don't know. I don't remember learning about those when doing history lessons back in school. And maybe I did. And this is just a refresher. So I thought that was pretty cool. So then some quotes or whatever that has stuck out to me as of right now. Like I said, I'm 40% in. One was, the boy smiled. He don't want no niggers around here talking better than him, putting freedom ideas in their heads. So that is in reference to them being smart, knowing how to read, knowing how to write. Because if you know how to read and know how to write, then you're going to be trying to teach the others. And we don't want none of that over here. Like, we want everybody to be dumb. Like, basically. So obviously Dana is in the time that she's not even from. So of course she had to make up a fake year of birth. Just to kind of act like she's part of the time, because when she comes into the 1800s, they're asking, first of all, who are you? Because you're dressed in pants and you're not dressed in a dress, and only men around here wear pants. So who are you? Who's the slave? Who owns you? Who's your slave owner? Like, who owns you and all of that? So of course, between her and her husband, they had to come up with a story that they're gonna stick beside and just stand by throughout their entire journey. So as I kept on reading some other quotes that kind of had me laughing, because I know I said, as a millennial, I was not taking it serious. But then as soon as I recorded that clip, I kept on reading. Octavia got me back in order. She like, hold on. We said we talking slavery here. So, yeah, let's get you in order since you cackling at everything. But something I did laugh at is how someone had asked her a question. I'm not going to give y'all the question or whatever because I don't want to spoil it. But she was like, Dana was like, how lovely it would have been to say none of your business, bitch. Like, that's a millennial type of thought. While I'm reading this book, I'm thinking in my head, like, if my today 2024 self had to go back to the 1800s, Like, we will be fighting. My mouth too smart. Y'all will be whooping me every day. Literally. Okay? And I don't know. My mouth is too smart to be in the 1800s. And that made me laugh so hard. And then once I start getting to the parts where Octavia was like, okay, Miss Ma'am, since you want to laugh at a lot of stuff, let's bring up some stuff that you probably won't laugh at. Dana was kind of talking about her background and how she was raised. And she's very dark, obviously. Look at the cover. Look at the cover. I'm trying to make it where y'all don't get a glare. So her aunt referred to her as highly visible. And I didn't like that. She said her skin complexion is highly visible. And I didn't like that. It made me feel some type of way. Because what? Highly visible. So her aunt was obviously born during those times. And she said something like, you need to have kids that are lighter than you, basically. And she was like, your skin complexion is highly visible. And I'm like, girl, okay. So far the book has been very good. I'm about to get cozy with my husband, and we finna just get in a little cozy situation. He's been watching Game of Thrones, and I want to finish this book this weekend. So we're gonna get super cozy, and he's gonna be watching his show. I'm gonna be reading this book because I just want to get deep off into this book. I really am knee deep. 40%, I'm already there. And I'm really enjoying it. And like I said at the beginning of the video, this is something very new to me. Like, I've read historical fiction, right? But then when you are doing the time travel, that's where the science come in at. And so I don't really do a lot of time travel when it comes to the books that I choose or the books that I read. I have not experienced time travel in the historical fiction. So I'm having a really, really good time. I can't wait to get more into this book. When or if I have any more updates, I will come back and talk to you guys about it. But for now, I'm about to go get cozy with my man and read this book. So see y'all in the next After a long weekend of reading, I finally finished this book. And y'all, I'm so happy that I went into this book with an open mind, because had it not been a book club pick, I probably would have had this on my never-ending TBR without actually picking it up. Like, adding it to my TBR because I wanted to read it, but not making it a priority. And so I think the best thing about having a book club is being exposed to books and pushing yourself to reading books that, one, you probably wouldn't have read if you had to pick them on your own, or two, making them a priority. Book clubs really forces you to read, because if you want to be active in the discussion and know what you're talking about, then you're going to read the book. So I'm happy I finished the book. Of course, at the end of the month, I'm going to give you guys my rating, but just say I thoroughly enjoyed the book. I mean, I was walking around with my Kindle throughout the house the entire weekend. The entire weekend. Like, I was just toting it around. Me and my husband had like a little quality time, a little we had like a little cozy night where he was watching his show and I was just reading, and I had got a lot of reading done on Friday night We brewed a pot of coffee just so that we could stay up late, because on Fridays, my household is sleep by 9 o'clock because the week is just so hard on us. We just go to sleep early on Fridays, but we stayed up to almost midnight on Friday. So I got a nice chunk of this book done on Friday night, and I'm just so happy I did. I wanted to circle around to my question that I know I said earlier, like, what would my today self in 2024, how would I react if I had to witness or be part of slavery? And it is something, after reading this book, it is really something that, yeah, today we joke about it, especially us millennials. We joke about it because a lot of us are hot tempered. We said what we said. We ready to clap back immediately. We are free, right? We are free. We got free speech. We are literally free. We don't have to worry about nobody whipping us, nobody selling us, nobody almost unaliving us. We don't have to worry about that. But with Dana being vanished off into the 1800s as her 1976 26-year-old self, it wasn't as easy to be her 20th century self in the 1800s, because when she got there, she had to adapt. She really couldn't be her 20th century self in the 1800s, because once she got there, she really truly seen what was going on, how it was going on, who can say what, who had the leeway to kind of do this and that. And she really had to adapt to her surroundings. There's a question at the back of the book, because they do have the discussion questions, and it was a quote that Dana had said, I never realized how easily people could be trained to accept slavery. Dana says this to Kevin, which was her husband, when they were just discussing their experience and stuff, because I did mention to you guys that her husband did go back into the 1800s with her too. And this is so true. It's like, it's kind of like you being a new student in a classroom, or a new employee at work, and you're kind of just trying to navigate and figure out what everybody else is doing and learning what they're doing to kind of do what they're doing, being on the same track as them, because you're either a student or you're an employee. So of course you're there to do what they're doing. So you are easily influenced by whatever it is that they're doing. And of course, when you're at a new job, you have those employees, they be like, this is the right way to do it. Don't do it like me, because the way I'm doing it is because I've been here long enough. Or you have those students that the teacher will choose that perfect student that does everything right, because it's that bad kid that, do what he want to do, even though he know what he's supposed to be doing. It's that bad kid doing what he want to do. When Dana came into the 1800s, she observed a lot. She had a lot of leeway. She really did have a lot of leeway, because Rufus knew. She explained to him, what was going on. So he knew how she was getting there, why she was getting there, who she was, where she came from. And so he kind of gave her a little leeway, but then he couldn't give her much. So, like with punishments, he still had to punish her, because essentially she was a slave, So whenever she went to the 1800s, she literally had to just fall in line with everyone else, and she got to experience cotton picking, working in a cornfield, just doing whatever master tells you to do. She literally was a product of her society, basically. Even though she knew what she knew how to read. She was a smarter slave. She knew how to read, write, and stuff like that. And she did use that to her advantage. She was trying to save people by teaching them how to read and write and stuff like that. But overall, it's so much that I can say about this book, but I don't want to say too much because I do want to have something to talk about in my monthly wrap up, and then I don't want to spoil it for you all either. But I think this is a great book for us to read. Us meaning Black people, and of course white people, for awareness. I think this is the perfect book to read in a diverse book club. My book club is not diverse. It is an option. I just always get Black girls to join. But my book club is not diverse. However, if it was a even amount of diversity in a book club and they pick this book up, this will make for the best discussion. I don't see this discussion being as great as it could be in my book club, simply because we're all Black. So when we are discussing this book, we are discussing it from a Black person's perspective. However, in a diverse book club, I feel like just piggybacking how each other feel from the white perspective and a Black perspective will make for a great discussion. And when I say great, I mean it in the most positive way, because Dana's husband was white, and when he vanished off with her, that one time he did vanish off with her, he learned a lot. Like, he really learned a lot, and he really got to see things for what it was. Because the thing about racism and being a product of racism, and or your ancestors being slave owners and stuff like that, like, the only time I could really show sympathy towards them is I wasn't a slave owner, right? My great grandfather was, and you're mad at me, but it wasn't me. It was my ancestor, and I'm nothing like my ancestor, right? I'm nothing like them. That's a them thing. It's not a me thing. So that's when I do show sympathy to them, because like they said, they were not there, and neither were you. You were not there either, and they're not like that. They're not all like that, and you know. So I just feel like this is a great book to read in a diverse book club. Overall, I highly recommend this book. If you've been looking into reading anything by Octavia Butler, I highly recommend you pick this up. And even if you are just on the fence, do what I did and go to your local library and check it out. I checked out the physical copy, and then I also borrowed it on Libby, because, you know, we like to have both of them. And I think I read it faster on the Libby app anyway. But I do have these long enough to have my discussion with my book club, and yeah, I already got my questions ready for the discussion or whatever. But yeah, so I know this vlog was kind of all over the place. I'm trying to dip my fingers into doing more reading vlogs, but the thing about me and reading vlogs is I'm so long-winded. Like right now, this is 10 minutes. I'm at 10 minutes. I'm so long-winded that I feel like I'm going to talk about so much and then don't have nothing to talk about in my reading wrap-ups. And then I want to be able to bring you guys something in my wrap-up. Y'all might not want to go watch a reading vlog. Y'all might just want my simple opinions and thoughts on the book. And I feel like me having a reading vlog takes away from my simple thoughts and opinions that I will include in my reading wrap-up. However, on the bright side, I enjoy doing this reading vlog, because sometimes when I do get to my reading wrap-ups, I forget what the heck the book was about. Like, I forget, and then I'm kind of short on giving y'all a summary, my thoughts and opinions, because I read it so long ago. It is now the end or the beginning of a new month. I forgot. So yeah, I'm going to try my best to give you guys reading vlogs. If this is something that you guys enjoy, just let me know, because I'm kind of playing around and just trying to see what you guys like to watch from me. And then if you have any other video suggestions or want to see anything other than what I've already been putting out, let me know in the comments. I'm always taking suggestions because your girl be running out of ideas, and I will recycle an idea, but I would love to bring you guys new content and new videos to watch. So yeah, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, peace out.